From poor performances in the 2023 postseason to the Portland Trail Blazers being mentioned as the ideal trade destination for him. Here's all you need to know about the trade rumors surrounding Jaylen Brown. First of all, a poor playoff run in 2023 has reignited the trade rumors. It wasn't too long ago when Jaylen Brown was talked about in the same breath as Jason Tatum. There were many people who claimed that Brown offered more to the way the Celtics played. Since then, though, a lot has changed. The Celtics went from being favorites in the NBA Finals to having a poor end to their 2022-23 regular season, before getting picked apart by the Miami Heat in the 23 playoffs. To put the blame for everything on Brown would be very unfair, but he deserves some of it, to say the least. As good a player as he is, Brown just wasn't up to the task of helping the C's in their bid to end the title drought. He made no decent contributions in the postseason when Boston needed him the most. At the end of the day, averaging over 22 points, 5.5 rebounds, and more than 3 assists per night isn't bad, especially in the postseason, but it was a huge decrease in production compared to his last 2 postseason campaigns. As a result, Boston feel that Brown has stagnated, rather than realizing his true potential, and now are open to letting him leave. I'm sure a lot of that has to do with his horrific Game 7 performance, where he had half a dozen turnovers as the Celtics lost to the Heat. But even before that performance, Brown's name had appeared on the grapevine, linking him with a move away from the Celtics. Yeah, don't think for one second that the Greens are the ones cutting the ties. Brown was still considered an indispensable figure for the Celtics when he himself revealed for the first time that he wasn't too happy with the Boston fan base. Can you blame him? Given the reputation they've earned themselves over the years for being one of the most racist fan bases, it's not a surprise that Jay wasn't too happy with them. More importantly, he also had a fallout with the Celtics in the summer of 2022. Yeah, that was probably the tipping point in their relationship. Boston went nuts when Kevin Durant became available. I get it. He's one of the greatest scorers the NBA has ever seen, but for the Celtics to publicly chase him down and offer Brown in a possible trade was low of them. Jaylen certainly felt that way, and he made sure that the Celtics knew how he felt about the entire saga as well. There were plenty of rumors linking him with the move away up until the 2023 trade deadline, but he ended up staying for the rest of the season. That relationship could be coming to an end in the summer of 2023, though. You see, if the Celtics don't cherish what they have, there are plenty of other franchises who'd give anything to trade for Brown. Plus, he's also not a fan of playing under Joe Mazzulla and has always been a huge supporter of Ime Udoka. So let's start with Udoka and the Houston Rockets as the likeliest destination for Brown. The Rockets have been the worst team in the NBA for quite some time now. They miss James Harden, it's clear as day. But with the beard hitting free agency and Rockets interested in bringing him back, there's still a possibility that the move doesn't go through. That's because of Brown's apparent availability in the market. Udoka would prefer to surround his young guns with a player in his prime like Brown instead of Harden, who, let's be fair, is completely washed by now. He wasn't good enough to be the second star in Philly, and the Rockets have enough depth in the guard department to move for both Harden and Brown. So they'll have to pick, and it's going to be Jaylen. If the rumors are to be believed, it makes a lot of sense too. Brown wants his own team, and with the kind of talent that the Rockets have at their disposal, he'll have a strong young core to lead as well. In fact, I really like the prospect of seeing Jaylen tearing it up in Houston, because the rest of the Rockets team is almost tailor-made for what Brown offers. His playmaking will also come to the fore, and he'll be their primary threat in terms of scoring from the backcourt. That reunion with Udoka will be the one for ages, to be honest. I feel he always got the most out of his players, particularly players like Jay that rely a lot on coaching. But if the Rockets choose nostalgia over common sense, then the Hawks will be more than happy to bring him to Atlanta. Again, this is a move from a personal perspective that makes considerable sense for Brown. Fun fact, did you know that Jaylen grew up a Hawks fan? Yeah, he's publicly expressed his enthusiasm for the franchise on many occasions too. Atlanta, as a team, are also planning for the future. They do have one of the most exciting guards in the league in Trae Young, but everyone and their dog knows that he needs a bit of help running things. What better way to get him that help than pairing him up with Brown? Yes, the rumored trade packages does not see the Hawks losing Young in a possible trade for Jaylen, but they'll probably have to say goodbye to DeJounte Murray. To be fair, he looked impressive, But there's a huge difference in Murray and Brown when it comes to readiness. And Jaylen being more complete is exactly what the Hawks are after right now. But to sweeten the deal, it's been rumored that the Hawks will need to add John Collins to the package. And I get it. A player like Jaylen was always going to cost a pretty penny, and Collins isn't exactly nailing down a spot on that roster anyway. It's good riddance, and with the cap space available, the Hawks can get an actual big who knows how to defend. At the same time, Collins is someone who'd do great in Boston given his limited skill set in a decent team, so this could be a trade that works for just about everyone involved. But there's another team in the East with eyes on Jaylen, and that's the New York Knicks. Anytime a superstar looks set to leave, the Knicks are rumored to be interested. They've been crying out loud for a superstar, and having missed out on Donovan Mitchell in 2022, it's hardly a surprise to see them join the race for Brown. Jalen Brunson has been a revelation for them, but with Derrick Rose set to be on his way out, the Knicks might look to add that superstar in the backcourt alongside Brunson. Jaylen, take my money. This is one of those trades that make way too much sense to happen though, so I'm not going to hold my breath for this. But the Celtics would 100% say yes to the rumored trade package. It involves all three: RJ Barrett, Obi Toppin, Emmanuel Quickley, and a protected first-round pick. Who could possibly say no to that? Quickley would be a great option off the bench, and a change in scenery is exactly what the doctor ordered for Barrett. Toppin and the Celtics should make for an exciting project, because he's a talent waiting to be developed, and the Celtics are known for doing a great job with young stars. As far as Brown is concerned, the Knicks are on the upward trajectory, and he's the perfect name to take them to the promised land. Brunson, Brown, and Randall form a very intriguing big three. But if Jaylen's serious about being the biggest name on the roster, how about filling the big shoes of Damian Lillard in Rip City? For Dame's sake, I hope they let him go. And to many analysts, this is the best possible move for Brown. Look, a straight swap involving Lillard and Brown is a very decent trade for everyone. The Celtics get the best of Dame in his prime, and with Boston, Lillard can truly contend for the first time in his career. Brown, on the other hand, would get the chance to lead a young group of stars. Shaedon Sharpe has been sensational. Anthony Simons looks good and ready. They have the third pick in the 2023 NBA draft as well. The Blazers clearly have the talent. All they need is a little bit of luck and a fresh face to lead them out of this rut. For Brown, this is the best possible move. It gives him a great chance to be the leading man on a great roster, and who knows what's possible when he's not playing second fiddle to Tatum. Sky's the limit, folks. In fact, if the Blazers play their cards right, they could be contending within a couple of seasons. So, from the Trailblazers being floated as a possible landing spot for him to his poor postseason performances in 2023, this was all you needed to know about Jaylen Brown's trade rumors.